Hello everyone and welcome to Ex Inferis' top 10 toys of 2020, and I thought we'd kick this video off with my number 10 spot, and that's the entire first wave of Hasbro's Plasma series Ghostbusters figures. Now I know I'm cheating a bit here, but the four boys are essentially all the same with different heads. So I didn't really want to split the whole thing up into a separate review, a separate slot for each one of them, because they would have taken up 6 whole slots. The reason I've put this last on my list is because I do have a couple of issues with them, but they are still the best of the human figures that I bought this year. Hasbro, I think, have done a fantastic job overall of this first wave of figures. They have done what Mattel never did, and they've given us all of the main characters in one wave, which is mind-blowing. I don't know why they did it. I think perhaps because of the way that fans reacted to the way Mattel did it with the Matty Collector store, and they maybe thought, yeah, let's not do that because nobody liked that. I think it was very brave of them to do the figures all in one go like this. I do look forward to getting more figures in this series because they've done such a good job with these. I have done reviews of these as well, and they were in fact my first proper reviews months ago for Fingers on Plastic, and I wanted to come back to it because I have had an absolute ball this year doing reviews for Simon and the whole Fingers on Plastic team. I'm happy and honoured to be part of this wonderful team of reviewers, and I wanted to just say thank you, Simon, for inviting me to do these. I've had the best year. Everything else aside, for me, for my mental health and well-being, this year has for sure been one of my best to be included in this group. And sorry for the waffle, but this is why I wanted to bring this set of toys back in for my top 10, because it means something both personally and just for my collection that these guys are so good. So stick with me for the rest of my top 10, and we will move now on to something completely different. So number 9 on my list is the awesome Titan class Omega Supreme figure. This guy is just fantastic. I wanted to put him on the list because in my entire life I've only ever owned 2 Omega Supreme figures. I have this one, and I have the MFT Huge Dragon. That's it, I've never had another one. And I really wanted to put one of them on the list, so it had to be this guy. When I bought him, I thought he was going to be smaller. Because the Titans class is a bit of a weird class. It doesn't really scale with itself or with anything else, really. But I did expect him to be like smaller than, say, Trypticon or Fortress Maximus, you know, those sorts of guys. But no, he's basically the same size as Trypticon, so that was a bit of a surprise to me. I just think he's a great figure. He looks really good in robot mode. His alt mode is pretty stellar as well, and his transformation is really nice. So yeah, this guy had to go on the list. I'm sorry for the slightly shaky camera on this one. It's because I can't get to my large tripod, so I'm having to do this a bit freehand. But it all clears up in the next one, so let's get to that one. Number 8 on my list came as a bit of a surprise to me, and is a figure that I had my eye on for a while and was just waiting for it to come down in price a little bit. This is the Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous Epic Roaring T-Rex. And I must first say apologies that I can't fit her all into my set here. That's what her tail looks like. So yeah, I just have to pop her like that because I can't quite fit her all the way in. But this is a fantastic figure. I didn't know I was going to like this figure as much as I do. It's so much fun now. It is roughly the same size as the Bite and Fight from about this time last year, so it's a relatively large dinosaur. It's just fun now. The sculpt is good because it's Mattel, but it's their main line, so you know, you don't expect anything amazing. But the sculpt on this is really nice. The paintwork is good as well. I'm sure we'll see another colour of this come out at some point. But I do like the brown. I do like the original sort of Jurassic Park, Jurassic World T-Rex brown. The thing that makes this figure so much fun is basically just the play feature. And it's just this. That to me is just fun. I'm sure a lot of kids are going to get this for Christmas and it's going to drive their parents absolutely mental. But yeah, I just think it's a really fun figure and definitely one of the top mainline Jurassic World things I've bought this year. So she had to go on the list. So for spot number 7, I thought I would put Bandai's SH Monster Arts Legendary Burning Godzilla here. I really like this figure. I'm always up for a Burning Godzilla. I'll buy anything. I mean, I've even got a Monster Arts Gamera with the burning flipper come hand. So I just love anything that burns. This is a great figure. To be fair, it is just a recolour of a previous figure. It's a recolour of last year's Monster Arts figure, Legendary Godzilla. So there's nothing new in terms of sculpt, but I think the paintwork on this is awesome. It just looks wonderful. I mean, what's not to love about this guy? And with all of the Monster Arts figures, he's highly articulated. He's just a gorgeous, gorgeous figure. I do have him with the massive King Ghidorah from was that last year or the year before? No, that was last year as well. I would have loved to have put that in. If I'd have got that this year, that would have been in. But yeah, sadly not. But it looks pretty good. So yeah, so that's number 7. So moving on. So number 5 on my list isn't technically a toy. It's more of a collector's piece, but I really wanted to put her on the list because she's one of the best dinosaur figures I bought this year. So what we have here is the Carnotaurus as she was seen in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and this is by a company in China called Nanmu Studios. Now they have been producing collector grade figures of dinosaurs based on their looks in the Jurassic universe. So dinosaurs both from Jurassic World and the original Jurassic Park trilogy. This was the first one I bought, and I have since gone on to buy several more because I've been very impressed with the look and the feel of these characters. She is beautifully detailed. The sculpting is probably the best sculpting I've ever seen on a dinosaur figure, and I've got a lot of these things. I did stop collecting for a while, but I got back into it this year, and I can definitely say without a shadow of a doubt that these figures are by far the best I have in my collection. And I've got a few from Schleich and a couple from Collect A as well, but these blow those out of the water. The fact as well that they are based on Jurassic World and Jurassic Park dinosaurs just makes them that more interesting to me, because it was the original Jurassic Park film that got me let's say over the hump of trying to grow up. It's a bit weird. I was always into dinosaurs when I was very little, and then I grew up and I became a teenager and sort of tried to forget about all that stuff you have as a kid. And then I saw the Jurassic Park movie at the cinema, and I was just like, yes, okay, I'm back into paleontology in general. But these having them painted and sculpted to look like their Jurassic World and Jurassic Park models is fantastic for me. It just brings everything together. So she's number 5. Let's move on to number 4. So number 5 on my list is MFT's Mind Wipe figure, and I absolutely love this guy. He would have been slightly higher on the list had it not been for some other really excellent figures coming out this year, because I think he's amazing. He looks just like he's walked out of the anime. He's just spot on. There isn't anything about this figure that I dislike. Nothing. He just looks brilliant. Actually, I tell a lie. Maybe one thing. In the anime, the wings do fold up more and they're more sort of backwards. So maybe we could have, or rather maybe they could have tidied that up slightly. But aside from that, no complaints with this figure. He's absolutely amazing. Really well articulated. Both modes look fantastic. It's just a really good figure. A really, really good figure. I have done a full review of this, so if you are interested in seeing it, then it's on the channel. Yeah, but yes, it's a fantastic figure. If you're in the market for a mind wipe, you can't go far wrong with this. Number 4 on my list is this bevy of beautiful bipeds. These are the Jurassic World and Jurassic Park Amber Collection figures from Mattel. And I really, really love these guys. I never thought that we would get this level of detail and articulation in a Jurassic franchise toy. But Mattel have done it, and I have to give them props for this, because they knew their market. They knew that we would lap these things up, and we are doing. Now we have Blue and Delta from Jurassic World, and we have the Dilophosaurus from Jurassic Park. Now, I did miss Charlie from Jurassic World and the Velociraptor, which is basically the same sculpt, from Jurassic Park. So I really hope that Mattel reissue those, because I absolutely have to have them in my collection. I do know that there will be a T-Rex next year, so I will definitely be getting that. So if you have been following my Jurassic reviews, keep tuned to this channel, because I will be covering that figure, provided I can get hold of one before it sells out instantly, which I know it's going to. But for these girls, they're on this list simply because they are magnificent figures. Highly detailed, highly articulated, beautiful paint apps. There is nothing bad to say about these figures. The only downside is that they are not readily available in the UK. So Mattel, if you ever see this, please make them available to us in the UK. We love these things too, and yeah, please make them easier to get hold of. So that's it for number 4. I put all these together because they really just go together. And Simon said I could, so. Right, so that's it. Moving on. So number 3 on my list is Fans Hobbies Athena, more commonly known as Minerva from the Super God Master Force anime. And I've chosen this one for number 3 because she just didn't quite pit number 2, and number 1 was a shoo-in for the absolute second that I got him in hand. But I do love this figure. I think she's fantastic. She looks exactly like her character model. Well, as close as you can get to an anime from the late 80s. She does look like she's walked straight out of that cartoon. Fans Hobby have done a fantastic job with this figure. She just looks stunning, and I'm really pleased that they decided to give us quite an obscure character for one, and for two, the only female Headmaster Junior. So yeah, she's just awesome. She's well articulated, she's well made, there's nothing on her that feels flimsy or fragile. She transforms really easily. It's actually a really nice transformation on this one. Her paint apps are fantastic. She's just the full package, and I really hope that Fans Hobby come out with more of the Headmaster Juniors from that show, because I would love all 6 of them. It would be a dream come true. To get a masterpiece scaled and articulated Bullhorn, or Horrible as he's known outside of Japan, would be a dream come true, because I've got the G1 and I love him. So yes, I'd love to see that. So yes, Athena, my number 3 spot, but only just. My number 2 spot goes to Takara Tomi's magnificent masterpiece Leo Convoy figure. I love this guy. He's just amazing. He looks like he walked straight out of the anime. He really does. He's brilliant. I bought this down to show with the figure, because my mum bought me this about 10 years ago from a Collectomania event, and you can see how similar he is to the original drawings. The only difference here are the feet, but I rather suspect that this was one of those ones where you didn't need to see the feet, so they just didn't bother drawing the claws in. But in the anime, he does have feet like this, so he's spot on, basically. When I saw that Takara Tomy were going to be doing Leo Convoy, as soon as he came out, I pre-ordered him. At first I was a little worried about how they were going to pull off the lion face. Here it does actually look spot on to the anime. But the actual lion face underneath, it's very cartoony. And it looks like that in the anime, so they got it spot on. They really did. He would have been my number 1 spot, but for the figure that you'll see shortly. But yeah, he's brilliant. I absolutely love him. The articulation is great. He looks like he's just walked off the TV screen. I don't really have any complaints with this figure at all. The only thing I would say is that the transformation of the lion head is a little bit fiddly, but yeah, it's not too bad. And for me, this is the last of the good official masterpiece figures. Everything that's come since, I'm afraid I've not really been that big a fan of. So yeah, this pretty much says goodbye to official masterpiece for me as well. I think they're overcomplicated now, but that's neither here nor there. This is my number 2, and well deserved. I love him. Honourable mentions time. So we're going to start this off with Cars and Cars Minis. I started collecting Cars after the first movie. I said, I'm just going to get the Fillmores to go with my Volkswagen collection, and this happened. So I should stop starting collections, because yeah, this always happens. This year has been a bumper good year for cheap cars for me. B&M and Home Bargains have both been stocking loads of them for between £3 and £4, and AliExpress has been amazing. I've got so many ones that I'd missed out on before, like this one here, this Finmet missile as a Japanese police officer. I missed that one the first time around. What else have I got? I missed this one the first time around as well. I've got both of those off of AliExpress. So yeah, it's been a really good year for cars figures. I mean, if you don't know what cars are by now, then probably no good me explaining it to you. But yeah, this is just a tiny fraction of the ones that I bought this year, and it's been good for the minis as well. If you don't know what the mini racers are, they used to come in blind bags, but now they come in little blind boxes. And they're so easy to collect because they stamp the number on the side of the box. So I know when I go into a shop, I know exactly which numbers that I need to get the little cars that I need. My favourite one this year, I think, was it this one? This one is called Flip Dover. Flip Dover. And the reason I like this one so much is because my mum was born in Dover, so I thought it was quite funny. And it's pink and all, which is cool. So yeah, it's been a good year for cars and cars mini races. I couldn't put them all in a top 10, so I just did the obvious thing and put them all in my honourable mentions instead. For my next lot of honourable mentions, I'm going with the Masters of the Universe Origins collection from Mattel. I only have these 4 figures at the moment. I didn't want to get into collecting another Masters of the Universe line because I already have pretty much all of the classics and Club Grayskull. Well, not all the Club Grayskull ones. I've got everything before it moved to Super 7, and then it just became a nightmare, so I stopped collecting at that point. But there were a couple of figures that I wanted from this line. So I wanted to get the Orko because I love Orko. I know a lot of people hate him, but I think he's cute. I always thought he was funny in the cartoon, and he's just adorable. So I had to have the Orko. I wanted the Battle Cat because I liked the aesthetic of it, and I had the original Battle Cat, so I liked the way this looked. So I picked him up as well. I got Scareglow because he was one of the figures I didn't manage to get in Classics. I came to the line in, I think it was the latter half of 2010 or early 2011, and Scareglow had already sold out by that point, so I didn't manage to get one. And I wasn't able to get the Sky Sled either. I just missed it. I just wasn't online in time, and it just sold out before I was able to get one. So I had originally thought that I would use the Sky Sled for my classics or my Club Grayskull He-Man, but he won't fit. He's a little bit too big, and it just looks a bit silly. So, but it's fine. It's a nice Sky Sled, and I think stood at the back of my collection, it'll still look fine. So these are the only figures I currently have. I'm not really intending to get a great deal more. I will be getting She-Ra, and I will be getting a Swiftwind, assuming they do one. But I'm not going to go all in on this collection because I've already got a pretty much complete Masters of the Universe collection. But I just wanted to add these into my honourable mentions because they are really good toys. Well, Battle Cat's ankles notwithstanding. But otherwise, they're really nice toys. So I just wanted to put them on the list. So for my last set of honourable mentions, I'm going with these little guys. And these, for those of you who don't know, are called Lost Kitties. And what you get is they're blind boxed. So you get a little carton like this. It's got Flufferton on the side. And you get one kitty, a couple of little accessories, and a little tub of what they call compound, but is essentially Play-Doh. And you have to basically, the kitties and the accessories are in little bags, but they're inside the compound, so you have to sort of dig them out. So they came in a few different varieties. So you got the single ones like this. Then you get a larger pack where it says you get 20 things, but it's a bit cheating really, because basically what you get is you get 4 variant colour kitties and a glittery kitty, and then you get a whole bunch of accessories and stuff. They also did the Kit Twins, which are these ones here. These are all Kit Twins, and they come in like an ice cream tub. The little ones at the front are Itty Bitty Lost Kitties, and they came in a sort of a milk bottle type thing, similar to what you see people feeding kittens with, you know, when they get premature kittens or the mothers reject them, that sort of thing. And then some of these came in like a special Easter edition. And I'm a bit ambivalent about this collection because I adore them. I think they are so cute. I think they came out in 2018, they started coming out, and you could get them everywhere. They were in every store possible. I was able to finish Series 1 really simply, but after that it's been an absolute chore trying to get them. Series 2 basically never turned up in the UK. The only wave I found was wave 2 out of 3 waves. Itty Bitty Lost Kitties and Kit Twins and the large 5-packs never turned up at retail in the UK, so I basically had to take pot luck and get them from Amazon. So this past year has basically been me trying to fill holes in my collection, which has been nigh on impossible. But these are the ones I managed to get this year, and it's a nice selection. The Kit Twins are quite cool. I mean, you've got like there's one there which is a huge one riding the back of a little one. There's 2 having a slipper race. The Itty Bitties are really cool as well. Like there's this one that's just in sticky stuff, and he's loving it. And I know I'm too old for these, but I'll be honest with you, most of the people that I've seen online with these are my age, if not older, because cats never go out of fashion. If you love cats, you love cats, and you'll buy anything with a cat on it, like I do. So yeah, so it's been a bit sad for me this year because I really wanted to finish the whole collection. I had to wave goodbye to Series 3 because it popped up on Amazon and it said, you know, pre-order, and then it rolled round and they never came out here. So thanks Hasbro, again, half a collection. But the ones I do have, I'm happy to have, and I just wanted to put them in this list because this might be the last year I see of these, and I thought it'd be quite nice just to show other people what they were like. So that's it for my honourable mentions, because if I don't stop here I'll just carry on. I'll find more stuff. So I'm going to leave it at that. Alright, so we've made it to number 1. And what is my number 1 figure of this year? This will come as a surprise to absolutely nobody, but it is Soundwave from the Bumblebee movie from 3-0. Absolutely the best figure I've bought this year. I wasn't sure if he was going to make it to the list because I was a little bit worried he would turn up after I'd filmed all this. But no, he turned up a week ago. I've done a full review of him, so please do check that out if you've got the time. It is quite in depth. But I can't get over how good this figure is. I do have 3 zeros and before that 3 A's. Bumblebee movie, Optimus and Bumblebee figures, so I knew that they were good, but I wasn't prepared for quite how well this one turned out. I'm a massive Soundwave fan. He's my favourite Decepticon. He's my favourite character from the Transformers, you know, full stop. But I wasn't entirely sure about the aesthetic that they went with in the movie. But it's difficult to see. So having this figure in hand, I'm just blown away by it. I think that they got it spot on. It just looks amazing. He is well articulated, fantastically sculpted, and the paintwork on him is sublime. Everything just works on this figure. There isn't a bit that I look at and go, no, that's not quite right. It just works. And Hasbro, here's a thing for you. This is how you do battle damage. Not the whatever it is you've been doing on the Siege figures and it's been creeping back into Earthrise. No. This is battle damage. He's just amazing. I Love this figure, and I know I've said that about these, but you know, they are my top 10 figures. So yeah, love's going to come into it quite a lot, I'm afraid. But this one, absolutely the top. I couldn't put him anywhere else in the list. He had to be the #1 figure. So that's it for my top 10. I appreciate you spending time with me, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.
Fingers on plastic.